Hello, Alan Young here. Now, I was a teacher for over 30 years in primary and secondary schools. I'm billed as Dr. Metric in my efforts to improve maths education in schools today, and I'm the inventor of the 4-step program to times tables mastery. But today I would like to talk to you about these things. And if you haven't seen these before, these are called virtual reality goggles, or VR goggles for short. Now, this is one of the early versions that are being released at the moment, and in order to make it work you need your mobile phone. You download a 3D, that is a virtual reality app, onto your mobile phone, and you use those suckers at the back of the screen there to hold this in position. Yeah, there we are, and you'll see the screen is divided into two halves. Then all you need to do is fold that up and turn it over, and you can use the lenses here to view it, rather as if you were watching a 3D movie in the cinema. But there is a difference between going to see a 3D movie in the cinema and watching a virtual reality movie through these things. When you go to the cinema, the screen is, let's say it's where you are, in front of me here, and the 3D effect is right here in front of my face. When I turn to the side, the 3D effect is still over there. It doesn't move with you. But with these things, it does. Whichever way you look, whether you look to the left or to the right or up and down even if you turn all the way round, the 3D effect is all around you. It's as though you're right in the middle of the action. And of course you can see the attraction for young people and for a few of us old ones too. There are going to be many uses of this, and at the moment, obviously films will be one where you're right in the middle of the action, tours around things like houses for estate agents, and of course computer games. And this, in my opinion, is where our children are going to get really hooked. Now, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I'm just going to get kitted out with these, so I'll see you in a second. Well, here we are with the goggles, and I'll put those down, and already I'm feeling fairly isolated. Now, of course, once things improve, we're going to need some decent sound, so we'll need a pair of headphones and possibly a microphone as well for the more advanced stuff. Now, the thing is, I can't see anything here. I've got no idea what I look like. Well, I have, but I'd rather not say. And I'm totally isolated. I can't hear very much outside at all. I certainly can't see anything. Somebody could be sitting right next to me here. I wouldn't even know it. In fact, an army tank, I think, could come blasting through the wall there, and until it actually hit me, I wouldn't be aware of it at all. Now, we need to ask ourselves, is this what we really want for our children for the future? Now, as I said a moment ago, this particular design in which you insert your mobile phone is only an interim measure. The real ones, when they hit the market, apparently, are going to have a screen already built in there. So there's no need to put your phone in at all. That screen will be connected via a cable or perhaps a wireless connection to a computer or some other whiz-kid box of electronics. You'll be able to see much better definition videos in here, which will make them even more attractive. Now, I don't know about you, but I find this very worrying indeed, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I have a vision where we're going to have millions of children all over the country, all over the developed world in fact, all sitting there with these things on their heads, even in their lounge, and different children will be watching different things, or perhaps they'll be playing a communal game. What effect is this going to have on our children? Well, medical people are already getting very worried about the size of children today, the obesity and their lack of exercise. And these things certainly are not going to help that. I don't think we need any medical evidence to support that case. Secondly, head teachers and other professionals who deal with children are getting very concerned about communication skills and social skills that children, well, a lot of them just don't have these days. And I, and probably you too, I know quite a few youngsters who just cannot hold a conversation. Even if they've just watched a film, you can ask them what the film's about, and all you get is, oh, I don't know. You know, did you really enjoy that? Oh yeah, it was good. Yeah, who was in it? Don't know. What was the story? Don't know. And this is the kind of problem that electronics today is creating. I've nothing against, I ought to say this really, I have nothing against technology per se. I'm using it now to make this video, of course, and when I was teaching, I set up 2 computer departments in different schools. It's just that this kind of use, I think, is not going to help our children. The next thing that worries me is what are the children actually watching? Now, unless there's a monitor over there that you as a parent can see, you're going to have no idea what your youngsters are watching inside those goggles. They could be watching all sorts of unsuitable things. And lastly, now I'm not an optician, so I can't really comment on this too much, but the fact that there's going to be a screen just a few centimetres from their eyes, and their eyes are going to be focused on that screen for long periods of time, I just find very worrying. Now, it might turn out, an optician might say, oh, well, that's okay, it won't actually do any damage at all. I've really got no idea, I'll leave that one to you. But I find the whole idea of these virtual reality goggles, although the technology is fantastic, and I appreciate the dynamics and the wonder of all of that vector graphics, in the end, I think they're going to be a disaster for our children. I'll leave it up to you to decide. But if I were a parent now, I would be extremely worried about these things.